Hola de nuevo, amigos conquistadores constitucionales. Ya estamos de vuelta con nuestro moñas run del Mass Effect. En la última, por fin hemos conseguido subir a la Normandia. Oh, códice para todos, porque hemos mirado fuera por la ventanilla. Nos hace más listos. En la última misión, aparte de terminar de hacer un par de misiones secundarias que nos quedaban por la por la ciudadela, ahora hemos conseguido por fin venir. Haremos con todo el mundo a ver si tienen algo que decir. Hola.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
Qué racista.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, ma'am, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Te voy a preguntar sobre los aliens y lo
Speak
racista que
freely,
eres.
Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school. Following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were one of the first reinforcements to arrive at Elysium after the Blitz hit. And those raiders were no match for an Alliance frigate. Of course, the only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander. I can't believe you held out as long as you did.
Sí, soy así de
How'd
impresionante.
you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Ya sabemos más del comandante Presley.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Según el códice hay digamos, una forma establecida de nombrar las naves. Está la nave de la Normandía por la batalla de Normandía, pero también está la Agincourt, que es por otra batalla, la de Agincourt. Y es porque las fragatas se nombran por batallas de guerra. Y por ejemplo las que son battleships, o sea las más grandes, los cruceros de batalla, tienen nombres de capitales de la Tierra. O sea, tienen... Luego además los intermedios tenían otro nombre, pero no recuerdo. Un día ya... Os prometo que algún día lo que haremos será solo un capítulo solo para escuchar el narrador del códice. Y saber más sobre todo y sobre todo el universo Mass Effect. Que seguro que es la parte más divertida de los vídeos. Aquí está mi cuarto, porque ahora soy el capitán. ¿Y algo más de códice? Sí. Códice. Vamos a ver qué nos cuenta Kaidan. Hola Kaidan, ¿cómo estás? Aquí reparando el monitor.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
Pues no quiere contarnos nada de su vida, pero nos ha contado qué ha
We'll
pensado de la
talk
última
another
misión.
time, Lieutenant.
La última misión, que es de historia principal. No te va a contar cosas de las misiones secundarias, no son tan guays. Más códice, nos explican cómo duermen los soldados en las naves. Básicamente, estos son sus camas. Se utiliza el método como los pisos patera, el método de la cama caliente. Aquí no se queda nada vacía. Oh, hemos conseguido cosas. O sea, eso, duermen por turnos. O sea, no hay una cama para cada uno. Cuando uno duerme, otra persona está despierta. Que no hay espacio en una fragata para que todo el mundo tenga dormitorios. Hola, doctor
Yes,
Chakwa.
Commander? Is there
Hello.
something you need?
No, porque ya te he preguntado sobre estas dos cosas antes.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Goodbye. Y no vale la pena aburrir con repeticiones de lo mismo. Vamos al piso de abajo a ver qué nos cuentan los otros compañeros. Aquí no hay música de ascensor. No somos tan del aire de poner música de ascensor en este caso. Hola Garrus, ¿cómo estás?
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander.
I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
¿Cómo lo sabías?
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Jo, disfrutaría del lejano oeste
For the
con
most part,
un
the
vaquero.
rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
I play loose with the rules.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not
Porque
fast.
somos unos
Got
moñas.
it?
I wasn't trying to... I understand, Commander.
Ay, Commander. El término ese de red tape es una... Bueno, he leído, no sé si será verdad o no, que es una referencia española. O sea, porque cuando Felipe II tenían que enviarle documentos, los que eran más importantes estaban envueltos en una cinta roja. Y se sabían cuáles priorizaban. Hola, Rex.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's
Quiero
your story,
cotillar, soy una
Rex?
maruja.
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Oh.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Wow. El genocidio siempre me hace reír. Como a los
I heard
judíos.
about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Jo, probes Krogan, que se mueren
So long,
todos.
Rex.
Se lo han buscado.
Shepard.
Por reproducirse como cucarachas. Hola, Ashley.
Commander,
What's your opinion of the last mission?
kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
No te puedes culpar de
Death
eso.
of perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Qué buena frase. Si tienen linternas en la cabeza.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Oh, no tenemos historias personales de los humanos
Dismissed,
todavía.
Chief.
Ma'am.
Podemos asignarles cosas desde aquí. Dar equipo a Tali. Hola, Tali. Tú que sabes utilizar escopetas. Quédate en alguna buena, o mejor de la que tienes. Esta es bastante buena. Para ti, escopeta. Esto no tenemos, pero sí que tenemos esto. Menos endurecimiento, más protección contra el daño y más escudos. Pero no mucho, no me acaba de gustar. Me gusta más lo que tienes ahora. Hombre, te podemos dar algo para la escopeta, para que no tengas solo una escopeta. Todo es malísimo. Y esto es lo peor. Bueno, para las escopetas no es tan mal, porque tienen muy poca cadencia de disparo. Te quedas con un gran calibre. Y de armas... Oh, esta es buenísima para ti. Ya lo tienes. Rex, a ti creo que ya te habíamos dado lo mejor que podías. ¿Hay algo bueno para el rifle? No. Bueno, la mira mejorada sí que está bien. Y de mejora de munición... No, porque quiero que hagan daño. Que ahora les hacemos cosquillitas. Bueno, esto no está mal. Por no ir a pelo. Y las otras que hay son peores que todo lo demás. Vamos, llegamos al siguiente. Garrus. Tú sabes utilizar también de estas cosas. Fusiles de francotirador. ¿Tienes alguno mejor del que tienes? No, todo lo que hay es igual que lo que tienes. Y no hay ninguna armadura buena para ti. Y fusiles de asalto, el que tienes es el mejor. Ya no tenemos nada con que mejorarlo. ¿Y este? No. Pues nada, te quedas así como estás. Y a Kaidan y a Ashley ya le pusimos antes. Entonces no hay nada más que ponerles. Todo lo demás casi se puede vender para conseguir dinero y comprar cosas buenas. Ingeniero Adams.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
La mandaré a la mierda.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
Es útil.
I
La
figured
podemos
she'd be a
utilizar.
real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander. But I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
I
Háblame de
want
la
to know more
Normadia.
about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on. Probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Fill me in on the
Tranquilo.
IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Esa frase que se ha contado de que cuando vamos a velocidad de la luz se pasa el espectro del azul, bla 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 bla. Eso es un texto científico bastante detallado sobre cómo funciona la tecnología en este universo. Porque conforme va avanzando la trama, cada vez funcionan más por magia. Pero aquí solo hay una trampa, y es que existe el elemento cero que, transmitiendo electricidad, puede cambiar la masa de los objetos. O sea, puede darles una masa hasta incluso cero o incluso negativa. Con lo que, pues eso puede viajar a la velocidad de la luz, porque tu masa es cero, y los objetos de masa cero pueden viajar, obviamente, a la velocidad de la luz o incluso por encima. Todo eso de que cuando te mueves obviamente la velocidad de la luz empiezas a cortar las distancias, te mueves al azul, el rojo, pasas a luces de alta frecuencia, calientas o sea, las naves no pueden estar todo el tiempo a velocidad de luz porque se calientan, tienen que liberar calor por viajar a más velocidad que la luz, pero liberar calor en el espacio es muy difícil porque tiene que haber algo a quedárselo, o si no tienes que liberarlo mediante infrarrojos, bla bla bla. Tiene mucha historia. Un día lo leeremos, seguro, os lo prometo. Por ahora vamos a hacer cotillas. Háblame de ti.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo. Only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
¿Ves lo que tienen los cruceros? Tienen nombre de ciudades. Vale, ya me has contado sobre tu vida. Te dejo
Carry on,
trabajar.
Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ay, Commander. Hola, Tali.
Your
Cuéntanos.
ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
Es que es ingeniera.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
Los cubanos crearon a los Geth. Los echaron de su planeta. Son como... En lore son como los gitanos. Entre una cosa entre los gitanos y los judíos. Pero saben trabajar.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most.
Eso es por la
By
razón
the
por la que
time we
llevan
leave
la
the fleet,
mascarilla.
we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Háblame de los cuernos en
Tell me
general.
about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Oh,
What kind of
dictadura.
freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
¿Es el conclave?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Y háblame de los Geth,
I want to know more
los
about the
malísimos
Geth.
robots.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Cuéntame.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
Eso es cierto incluso para los Geth que luchamos. Cuanto más grandes son, el lore dice que son más listos, y no por otra cosa, sino porque caben más Geth, digamos, dentro de esa plataforma Geth, y entonces son más inteligentes y tienen mejor táctica de combate también.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
Wow, qué
That
complejo.
doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
¿Por qué?
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You
Lógicamente.
can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld.
Oh, qué
We
triste.
feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
No me gusta ninguna de las dos respuestas. Porque, joder, unas máquinas se han rebelado contra nosotros y casi han exterminado a mi especie suele ser algo que despierta simpatías, pero bueno. Solo por seguir con el moñas Ran.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place. But we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
Tienes razón. Te dejo.
I should go.
See you later.
Joder, hemos subido de nivel solo del rollo que nos has soltado. Mira que te enrollas, Tali, perdona. Dato curioso, la palabra robot viene del checo. Del checo robota, que significa esclavo. Literalmente, el inventor del concepto de los robots los hizo pensando en los esclavos, de máquinas que se crean para que actúen como esclavos, haciendo, como ha dicho Tali, trabajos peligrosos. Para una máquina está bien, pero si los rostradores inteligentes se darán cuenta que los tratamos como esclavos. Vamos a subir de nivel. Gracias a Tali ahora tenemos más puntos de habilidad. ¿Dónde podemos gastarlos que esté bien? Podría ponerlos a encanto, pero joder, quiero tener habilidades de verdad. Esta habilidad es muy importante. Voy a empezar a ponerle puntos a entrenamiento de espectro. 2 puntos más, siguiente nivel, y podremos resucitar a nuestros enemigos, a nuestros aliados caídos, que duran menos que un caramelo en la puerta de un colegio. Hola, quiero venderte mierda.
Looking for supplies?
Sí.
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
Las cosas buenas no las podemos comprar, pero bueno, vendamos mierdas que no queremos. Las mejoras de granada no hemos gastado. Y estas mejoras de munición no me gustan nada. Ya hemos probado todas las... Y todos los fusiles de salud también. Oh, esto no lo hemos probado, la mejora de armadura. Qué divertido, verme vender cosas. ¿Qué vendes que pueda comprar todavía? ¿Qué pistolas tienes? Pistola, pistola, pistola. ¿Es mejor que lo que tengo ahora? No, es peor de lo que tengo ahora. Y esta también es peor. De todo lo que tienes es una mierda, con todo el respeto. Es que ni siquiera las... Esta sí que es mejor. ¿La podemos comprar? No. Es carísima. Bueno, por lo menos te hemos vendido cosas. Wow, llevamos media hora solo hablando con nuestros compañeros. Hagamos una cosa. Tin, tin, ti, ti, tin, ti, ti, tin, ti, ti, tin. Porque ya hemos puesto al día con todo lo que querían contarnos nuestros amigos de la nave. Y nos hemos enterado de cómo funcionan los quarianos. Oh. Aquí empieza nuestra misión. Ya podemos volar con la Normandía. Así es como será el próximo capítulo. Por ahora lo dejamos aquí. Chao, chao.